Hey there, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and I am the personal English trainer. If this is your first time to watch one of my videos, special hello and a shout out, and I hope you're having a great day. Now today's video is not a lesson, rather it is advice. Because after 20 years of teaching English, there are 5 types of students who never improve their English. And I don't want you guys to be one of these students, okay? So I'm going to tell you who these students are and why they don't improve their English. Okay, I'll meet you over at the board. See you there in 1 second. Okay, hello again. Our goal today is not to be one of these 5 students. 5 students who never improve their English. Okay, before we start, I want to make one thing very clear. This is about students at all levels who have these poor study habits in the classroom. It's not about beginners and it's not about low-level students. I'm going to introduce you to their 5 names, and I've given them names so that you can remember it easily. I'm not trying to be rude or make fun of anybody. I don't want to offend anybody, and I have total respect for all students, all you guys learning English or any language, because it's not easy. Okay, let's get started. The first kind of student who never improves is Mr. Short or Ms. Short. Okay, here is a typical conversation with Mr. Short. Teacher, that's me. What did you do last weekend? Mr. Short. Sleep. Can you make a sentence, please? I sleep. Okay. Why did you sleep? Tired. Okay. Why were you tired? Busy. Okay. Can you make a sentence, please? I was busy. So, last week I was busy. Yes. Okay. Let's put it all together. I slept last weekend because I was busy last week. Okay, one more time. What did you do last weekend? I sleep. You may think that never happens, but actually it happens again and again. And it keeps going in this circle. It doesn't matter how many times I say make a sentence or okay, let's repeat the whole thing. It always ends up in a short 1-word, 2-word answer. Okay, now this type of student will never improve because they're not making the effort to make long sentences. It's very important that you make long, full sentences, even if you know the grammar, because it's practice, practice, practice. If you have mistakes, the teacher will pick up your mistakes. If you're not sure about the grammar, just try. Okay, this is not a low-level problem, although it can happen more at lower levels. It's more about a study attitude problem. Okay, so the second type of student who does not improve is Ms. YeahYeah. And I think she's got a friend called Mr. I know. Okay, now this type of student doesn't practice their correction. Every time I correct their mistakes, they just say, yeah. Yeah, I know. For example, I am busy last week, so I am tired. So the verb tense is wrong, right? And I would say, I was busy last week, so I was tired. Yeah. Can you repeat? Yeah, I know. No, can you repeat the sentence? I was busy last week, so I was tired. Yeah. For some reason, this type of student doesn't want to repeat corrections. Sometimes they get a little angry if you correct them, or they just feel that this grammar is too easy for them, that they already know it. So let's move on to the next point or the next topic, or don't interrupt my speaking. But they keep making the same mistake. So I try to correct them they don't practice the correction, then 30 seconds later, 1 minute later, 5 minutes later, they're still making the same mistake. I try to correct them again. Just, oh yeah, I know. Okay, so don't be a Ms. YeahYeah, don't be a Mr. I know. Practice your corrections. It's very important for internalizing your mistakes and remembering your mistakes, because that's how everybody learns. We learn from our mistakes. If you don't practice the correction, you're not going to improve your English. Okay, so the third type of student who doesn't improve their English is Mr. Page Turner or Ms. Page Turner. It's okay. It's guys and girls. Now, who is Mr. Page Turner? Mr. Page Turner is the student who is already turning over to the next page before we've finished the current page or the current point. So because they're already focusing on the next page or looking to see what's on the next page, they're not listening to me, they're not focusing on the current grammar or vocabulary, and so it's not being internalized. They're missing it. It's not being internalized. This student seems to think that just getting on to the next page or moving on to the next point means progress. Progress is mastering the point. Now, of course, we can't spend forever on a point, but usually teacher will have a good idea of when you can understand something and you're ready to move on. So there are some students who just, it doesn't matter, they're always looking at the next page to move on. Like they want to get to the end of the book because that is achievement, but it's not. And I've seen students get to the end of the book and their English has not improved much from the beginning of the book. Okay, so turning pages doesn't mean your English is getting better. Rather, understanding the new vocabulary and the new grammar and practicing it and building fluency is how you improve your English. Okay, so the fourth type of student who never improves their English is the rock. Now, the rock comes to class and they don't speak very much and they don't participate in the lesson. Participate means to join in, to actively join in. So when the teacher asks them a question, they are just silent. And the silence can be for 30 seconds or even a minute. Okay, so the conversation pattern with the rock is something like this. The teacher says, "What did you do last weekend?" And then silence. Silence means no noise, quiet. Silence for 20, 30, 40 seconds. So then, did you go out? Did you stay at home? Silence. And then, yes. Stay at home? Go out? Silence. Go out. Where did you go? Silence. Okay. Did you go to the park? Did you go to the shops? Silence. Park. Okay, let's make a sentence. I went to the park. Silence. I went to the park. Okay, one more time. A little faster. I went to the park. Okay, good. Let's try a little more smoother. Okay, I went to the park. I went to the park. Okay, so this pattern repeats and repeats and repeats. So the lesson has no energy and it becomes very tiring for the teacher and it's not interesting for the student. Okay, now this is not because the student is a beginner. I've taught lots of beginners. I was a beginner when I studied Korean, when I studied Chinese, and when I studied Japanese now. Try to speak during the lesson. Don't be silent for 20, 30, 40 seconds or even a minute. Okay? Try to speak. If you don't know the vocabulary, ask the teacher. If you can't make the sentence, just try anyway. Make a mistake. Teacher will give you correction. Okay, so the last type of student who never improves their English is Mr. Lazy or Ms. Lazy. Now, sometimes I'm lazy, but when I study I try to always prepare for my lesson, okay? But Mr. Lazy, Ms. Lazy never prepares for their lesson. They don't review the lesson. They don't do homework. They come to class late. They take 2 or 3 lessons and then they don't come to class for a month or 2 months. Then they come back, they take 2 or 3 or 4 lessons. And so every time they come back to class, they forgot what they studied before. So they don't improve. So it doesn't matter how many lessons they take, they don't improve because they don't do the practice. They don't do the preparation. They don't do the review. So it's always very important to prepare for your lessons, preview what you're going to study next, review the last lesson to remember the vocabulary or the grammar points, the key phrases, and try to keep good frequency. Take a lesson every week, take a lesson every day, twice a week, but keep a good frequency. If you have big gaps, like you don't study for 1 month or 2 months, you forget quickly. So it's very important, if you cannot take regular lessons, that you preview and prepare for each lesson. Okay, so don't be Mr. Lazy or Ms. Lazy, because you will not improve your English. Before we wrap up today's video, I want to give you some study tips, okay? This will help you in the classroom. Have a look. I've got 7 study tips for you. Number 1, before the lesson, you should always preview the lesson. That means review what you did last time so you can remember again, and preview the new page, the new point, the new topic, the new chapter. Pre-check the vocabulary, pre-check key phrases. Okay, when you get to the lesson, speak as much as possible. It's your best chance to practice speaking. So speak as much as possible. Okay, always try to make full sentences to practice your structure in grammar. And if you make mistakes, you will get correction from the teacher. Repeat that correction. Repeat it 2 or 3 times until you're smooth or memorized it. Now, if you don't know how to answer a question, if you don't know the meaning of something, if you don't know how to say something, please ask. Ask the teacher. That's what they're there for. So please ask. Don't sit in silence, okay, for 30 seconds. Right. Number 6, you can record the lesson. Check with your school, check with your teacher if it's okay to record the lesson. This can be very useful. You can listen again later. You can hear your strengths and your weaknesses. And finally, review the lesson. If possible, review on the same day, but definitely review the lesson at some point. Okay, so let's wrap up the video. Our goal is to not be one of these 5 students because they have poor study habits in the classroom. I want you to maximize the benefit from your English lesson so that you're not wasting the time in the lesson, because learning English takes time and it costs money, and so I don't want you to waste your time and your money. I want you to improve as much as possible in your lessons, okay? Thank you for watching this video. I hope this helps you in some way. It was designed to be a little entertaining, but also to highlight poor study habits. I'll catch you in the next video, but before you go, make sure you subscribe and share this with your friends, your family, and your classmates to help them on their language journey too. Don't forget to practice, practice, practice. Catch you in the next video.